two parts.
يعني بنحافظ على الجهاز. أنا بس السؤال إذا في حدا
Yes, they are saved, I think. But in this case, there will be two parts. Part 1, part 2.
أوكي، يعني مش مشكلة، بس إنه يكون محفوظ إن شاء الله.
I think, yeah, I think. But you need to find them. Where? In documents, in downloads. I think maybe you can find them in documents. Okay. Not you will not find them on desktop, but maybe you need to check your I think documents maybe. Okay, thank you guys.
دكتور أنا سجلتها بس ريكورد مو سكرين شوت.
Yeah, record, yeah.
It's okay.
You can share it.
Yeah, I will.
Did you record it?
Yeah.
Did you record it?
إياها على التليجرام.
Did you record it, Zainab? Did you record it?
Yeah.
I can't see. Maybe you...
لا مش عندك، من اللابتوب عملتها للتليفون، يعني عم سجل عن التليفون.
I see. Oh yeah, good. Thank you, Zainab. Yes, thank you. Now back to roots and stems. So you know the meaning of root. So we have one root, and then we add one or more affixes. So maybe we have a prefix and a root and a prefix, a suffix, maybe a prefix, a root, a suffix, and so on. Maybe we have two prefixes and a root and so on. So when we say painter, how many morphemes?
One, Doctor.
How many morphemes? Be careful if I ask you. How many morphemes?
Two.
How many morphemes are there in painter? Two morphemes. So paint and er. One free, okay, one, let's call it root, paint, and er is a suffix, right? Read, two morphemes, re and read. Re means again, and read the verb. Sieve in conceive, and ling in linguist. So sieve is the root, and ling is the root in linguist. Linguist is someone who is an expert, someone who is specialized in linguistics. And when we say root, a root may or may not stand alone as a word. That jadr or root can stand alone. Maybe in Arabic, because we have fa'ala, sarfi, maybe in Arabic, kataba is a root and it can stand alone. In English, it can be both. The root sometimes can stand alone, as when we say painter is taken from the root is paint, and paint can stand alone. Read can stand alone. But roots like sieve and ling cannot stand alone. In the case of circumfixes, the root is the form in between. So if we say chokm and ikchokmo, then we take the prefix, or sorry, ik and o as circumfix. So the root is chokm. In the case of infixes, the root is the form into which the infix is inserted. Like we say ficas and formicas. So just we take um and then the rest will be the root. Arabic and Hebrew, because they are Semitic language, they are morphologically rich. And from the same here, we have a foundation of 3 consonants, fa'ala in Arabic. So we can say kataba, He wrote كاتب writer كتاب book كتب books. But the gender, as we say, is ka and ta and ba. Now, what's the difference between root and stem? What's the difference between root and stem?
The root,
This is very
it
important.
can be standalone, but the stems, no, it cannot be standalone.
Stem has a meaning.
Stem has suffix. Has suffix and meaning, Doctor.
So the root is, I would say, the initial thing, the smallest part.
Yeah, the simplest form of the word, and it
Okay.
may or may not stand alone as a word, but stem
No, the root, be careful. The root can, sometimes we said in a
May
minute.
or may not.
I said may or may not. So paint can stand alone. Read can stand alone. But sieve cannot. Ling cannot. But here when we say what's the difference between root and stem, it is an addition thing. So a root plus an affix is the stem.
It's for stem.
Okay? This is the difference between the root and the stem.
دكتور معلش تعيدها.
So the root is what we have in Arabic jadr, fa'ala, the smallest, the origin of the word. But if we add an affix, be it a prefix or a suffix or an infix or a circumfix, it becomes a stem.
دكتور
Yes.
الروت هو أصل الجملة بدون أي إضافات صح؟
No, not جملة, كلمة, word, the
sorry,
word, the word, yes, the word, the word.
والword.
No, the word can be, the word can be sometimes only one morpheme, like boy. But the word can be the root plus affixes. We will see the difference now. Now, some of you might say, if we know what the root is now, jadr, if we add an infix to the root, it becomes a stem. So what's the difference between the stem and the word? We will see. Now, take this as an example. So Chomsky, you know, this is a proper noun. If we add it or ite, so Chomsky is the root. Plus a suffix, it becomes what?
Stem.
A stem. A stem, yes. Now, if we add Chomsky plus ite plus s, those who believe in Chomsky, أتباع Chomsky, those who follow Chomsky. Now, why is this is a root and this is a stem and this is a word? Now, Chomsky is a root and at the same time it's a word. But in morphology, because we can add ite, to Chomsky, so we call Chomsky as a root. And remember here we said that the root may or may not stand alone. So Chomsky is an example of a root that can stand alone. If we add ite, it becomes a stem. But if we add ite and s, it becomes a word. Why a word? Now this answers your last question, sorry, about the difference between the stem and the word. When we can't add new affixes or more affixes, it becomes a word. So here we have noun plus suffix plus suffix. Can we add anything else to it? Maybe take the word believe. Maybe it's going to be easier and clearer to you. So the root is believe. The root is believe. Don't say that be, verb to be should be the root. No. Be is different from believe. So the root is believe. If we say believable, it becomes what? a stem. If we add a prefix and a suffix, it becomes a word.
Word. Unbelievable.
And the best example is system. System is the root. We don't have, okay, a smaller part. Now, if we add systematic, it becomes a stem. If we add unsystematic, a prefix and a suffix, it is also a stem. If we add unsystematical, it is also a stem. If we say unsystematically, it's a word. Why? Because we can't add more affixes. And in morphology, sometimes linguists call stems base. But in this case, you need to be careful.
دكتور بس هاي آخر إشي unsystematically.
Yes.
هسا اللي قبليها unsystematical. طب إحنا عندنا two suffixes.
Yes.
واللي بعديها يعني بس صاروا three suffixes صارت word.
Because we can't add more affixes.
We have just
it is not a matter of 1 or 2 or 3.
Okay.
It is not a matter of the number. It is a matter of as long as we stop adding or we can't add new more affixes, it becomes a word. But don't be confused because root is a free morpheme. System is a free morpheme. Is a word, and systematic is a word. But what's the difference between system and systematic? That system is a root, so system is a word, systematic is a word, unsystematic is a word, unsystematical is a word, unsystematically is a word. But the difference between them is that system is a root and systematic is a root plus a suffix, and unsystematic a prefix and a root and a suffix. So if some linguists call them or use the word base to mean any root or stem to which an affix is attached. So the word base is used to refer to any root or stem. So according to this use, the word system, systematic, unsystematic, unsystematical are all bases.
Doctor?
And only unsystematically is a word according to this definition.
Doctor?
Yes.
محاضرة خلصت علينا محاضرة ثانية.
Yes, thank you. Time is